to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, a.k.a. the Internet's most passionate wine program. And we have a very special show today. But first, a big thank you to me. No, just kidding. Big thank you to your New York Jets who were able to defeat the Giants and the Eagles since I saw you last, which is always a tremendous feeling for me. Mott is very sad, and I want to give a huge, I'm sorry, I'm really upset about the OC Humanura thing. I mean, nobody roots for injuries. That was a tough blow. Not happy about that, but football coming up, Labor Day weekend coming up, and we have two guests today. Very interesting show. We will not be scoring wine on today's show because it is a conflict of interest. What we have today are three wines that I actually had my hands in making. Private labels for the store. Little fun thing. Mott, we're going to need you to zoom in because that's what you do best. Or do you link up best? What would you say?
I'm just a master of all trades.
Wow. The monster. We got a political today, by the way, too. Yeah, Mott, zoom in right there. Do you see what I'm pointing to? This is the Wine Library Tribute series. Really excited about this. And what I did was, these two gentlemen to the left and to the right of me are really the people that are most closest to me in the world outside of my direct inner family. Bobby is my family member, and Brandon, as a best friend, is my family member as well. But they are the backbone, the structure of Wine Library, the retail company. And without them, to be honest with you, and of course many other people, there is no Wine Library TV because I would have never had the time to be able to execute the Thunder Show the way I like to do it. So men, why don't you introduce yourselves to the Vaniacs out there? Why don't you go first? Bobby.
Bobby Shifrin. Don't call me Boris.
That's right. That is your name, though, Boris.
No.
But really, like, by the way, nobody knows my real name. It's a little fun fact.
Well, it's fine.
No, I know. Don't
It's
say it.
actually
Don't.
cute.
It is cute. Don't say it.
Very cute.
We'll save it because it could be huge.
Sounds you. Yeah. Good.
I don't think I know what it is.
General manager of Wine Library. Been here for a very long time. Gary will tell you all about it.
No, you will.
What am I going to say?
Tell them a little more. Tell them. They know Sasha. They know the mix.
Sasha's my first cousin. Gary's my cousin.
First cousin removed, I think, right?
Or something.
By the way, until like moments ago, I thought I was Bobby's second cousin. First of all, can some of the Maniacs help us? Bobby and my dad are first cousins. So what are we? Not second cousins. Bobby thinks we're first cousins.
Once removed.
But
it doesn't really matter. Anyway.
We're very close.
Family. It's fine. Been working for Wine Library for 21 years, going on 22 now. A lot of those years were crap. Now it's great.
Wow. There you go. All right.
No, it's all been fun. It's all been good. And what else?
Tell them what you like.
What do you mean? What is this? Am I looking for a date? I don't know.
You might get some. The Vaniacs.
Yeah,
the Vayner
I am
chicks
single.
Out there. That's huge.
Hey.
Mott, link up Bobby's email address. I'm not even kidding. Link it up.
No.
All right, move over here.
Okay. Brandon.
Link it up.
And some of you may already know me. I'm Brandon, and I know Gary talks about baseball cards a lot, and I was very much a part of that. That's how I met Gary.
Tell him, Brand.
My first day of high school.
This is good stuff.
I had baseball cards. Gary had baseball cards. So we met, and he said, we should trade, or, you could bring some cards in. So I brought some cards in that he was interested in, and he told me about some cards that he had, and I was interested in them too. The difference was I showed him mine, he didn't show me his. So the next day, we made the exchange, and he brought his cards in, and it looked like his dog ate them.
Oh,
so
you're telling the Hensley Bam Bam Mullen story?
Yeah, Hensley Mullins.
They weren't that bad.
They were bad.
Tell him about the Dale Murphy.
That was the card in the trade.
No, I sold you the Dale Murphy. No.
You know what? I think I'm the only one ever to get a good card out of you.
Which one?
The
Jordan's second year. All right, let's get focused. Today's show is really about family celebration. Everybody's going into Labor Day this weekend. A lot of people are going to be drinking a lot of different wines. That is the question of the day. What wines are you going to be drinking? Please leave a comment. Also, little fun fact. We are going to give away all 4 wristbands to the person that can first, in the comment section, mention when these two guys first graced Wine Library TV. So let's do that, Mott. Good hands. Anyway, what we're doing is we're focusing on these wines, which is here's what I did. I worked with some growers in California to create 2 brands. One being Warnke Cellars, which is Brandon's last name. He got 2 flavors, Cabernet Merlot. And then Bobby, I went in a different direction, a little more high-end, single vineyard, the Howell Mountain, a Zinfandel. Which is really exciting. So we have 3 wines. Bobby's Zin comes in at 27 U.S. bones, and Brandon's Cabernet Merlot roll in at $17 a pop. I'm almost sure, but this is you gotta keep it real. Have you tasted the wines yet?
No.
I've had the
Have not.
cab.
So you've had your cab.
Yes.
Okay.
I've not had any.
You've not had it
No,
yet.
no, not
And
any.
I, since doing the blending and working with over a year ago, have not tasted the final product. So that's what we're going to do today. We're not going to score them because, you know, there are private brands and, you know, but this is more just about getting these guys on the show, me thanking them for all the efforts they put into. Basically, there is no Wine Library TV without these two guys. I know Mott gets a lot of credit, Eric gets a lot of credit, but there's definitely no Wine Library TV without these two guys. So without further ado, let's taste these wines. Now, one of the fun things I did with the wine was I put their email addresses on the back of the label. So I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah.
Have you gotten an email yet?
No.
Of course, nobody's wanted one. All right, so the first wine, Warnke Cellars, 2005 Merlot, 14.7% alcohol content, 17 U.S. bones, and on the back it says brand is a key pillar. You like that? I used some good terminology there.
The workman flavor.
Oh, it also says cubbies.
It does say cubbies on there.
Tell the Maniacs how
It's their
big.
year, man.
You're huge. Brandon?
Huge cubbies.
I wouldn't call him as big of Cub fans as I am as a Jet fan. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
No.
No.
I don't know about that.
I wouldn't.
I'm not as intense.
You're a huge fan.
fairly
I would.
intense.
I,
I'm very
you know,
intense.
I would say you're as big a fan, but I've taken a crazy leap to being like really involved even during the off season at every second.
Right.
You know, like watching the combine. Like you don't watch the Major League Draft.
No, I don't. But the Major League Draft is much different than the NFL.
You're right. I was just trying to sucker you. All right, let's give this a sniffy sniff. Now you have to understand how close I am to these guys. Like I want to get, you know, I don't want to get sappy on the Thunder show, but it is a holiday weekend, Mott. People are feeling good. You want to hug. Mott and I hugged earlier. I mean, here's the thing. These are my guys, right? These are like miniature golf, Atlantic City. I mean,
Atlantic City.
Do you remember like work? We would work in the old wine
I
library.
remember going to Yankee Stadium and then driving right past the Yankee Stadium, going right straight to Atlantic City. No, was it Atlantic City? No.
We went to a wine tasting. A wine bowl wine tasting.
Wine tasting.
And we were supposed to go to the Yankee game after we had tickets. We all lived in Jersey at the time. Wine bowl tasting was in New York. Then we were going to go to the Bronx for the Yankees game. So it was all pumped. But we really planned it because back then we worked every hour. And for us to all be out of the store was insane. And so, even now. And we basically were planning on going with our other friend Charles, who worked for us at the time. Good old Chuck. And we left the wine bowl tasting and somehow through cell phones, we decided we were going to drive past. We went to Foxwoods for about 45 minutes.
Yes.
It was a long drive.
We had 45 minutes.
Right.
We quickly lost and left.
It was
We
great.
took a punch in our face and left. What's really amazing about this is that that was the same day that Brant Brown dropped the ball in the outfield.
That's correct.
And the
Devastating
Cubbies.
loss.
Yes.
Unlike today when they won 3-2. They just won.
Oh, big win.
Phillies.
One more sniffy sniff. All right, let's break it down. Let's give it a whirl. You like that?
I drank it.
You drank it. Very good. Got it. I mean, garage sales with these guys. My entire foundation of happiness is based around these guys. Almost everything I've ever done, you know, what I was into, these guys were associated with. Whether it was eBay, or baseball cards, or fantasy baseball.
Yeah, and it
We
goes
started-
back and forth too. I mean, how many Cubs conventions did you go to with me?
That's right. And a great thing we did at Cubs convention was we took random players and we would sign them. Like, we would take their cards, Mott. We would sign, like, Ryan Sandberg. Then we would walk in the convention hall and drop them and hide behind the bush and watch people find them. So there are, unfortunately, and I do apologize, probably 7 to 10 people walking around this earth right now thinking they have a
Thinking they got
signed
it.
Ryan Sandberg that they found on the floor. It was bad. But you know what? People are bad, too. Me and Brandon were in an elevator, and I dropped one. I was really pushing it. And, like, the kid picked it up. Didn't tell me. Remember? He was all like, happy. So, you know, some people are pretty shady. That'd be a great video blog in itself, like doing those kind of things and taping it. Anyway, breaking down the Merlot. Why don't you start, Brandon? What do you got? Of course. Bobby? Well, Brandon's...
Tastes like wine.
Yes, indeed.
I haven't tasted wine in a long time.
And you like it. You're finding that
See,
you
I
like it.
don't do wine anymore. I deal mostly with liquor now, so.
That's true.
so
You're
it's
pounding
like-
the hard
yeah,
stuff?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Vodka, great.
Love it?
I like it. I think it's pretty smooth. It has a lot of upfront cherry, a little bit of bright cherry up front, black cherry in the mid palate, a little bit of minerality in it as well.
It's pretty balanced. I'm surprised. Brown, what you want is not bad.
There's a little Cabernet in here. That was my little secret move. I wanted to give it more
That's what
chops.
That's what I thought.
Right?
Chops. Not really.
It's got backbone and it's got structure. This is a real Merlot. I mean, after Sideways, Merlot sales dipped so hard, and I think instead of crying about it, we need to recognize the opportunity. To me, this has the structure and the balance and complexity of really good Saint-Emilion, right bank stuff. And so that's what I was going for. You can notice that the Oak Monster is not present.
I'm not a fan of Merlot, but this is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, I'm not a fan of Merlot at all. I do not like Merlot.
I think most people don't drink enough Merlot. That's number one. I think people are just like, oh, Merlot, you know. Plus, when Bobby, you know, Bobby and me were like the two guys, and Dick. I mean, from Wine Library in the old days, I mean, we did all the wine stuff, and Merlot was really big when we first.
It was huge.
That was the game. That was blowing up. It so got boring, right? We got more excited.
It did. Actually, it did.
Right?
Yeah, now it dropped off.
Do you remember how much Stone Creek Merlot used to sell?
It was sold 10, 15 cases a day.
It was
just
absurd.
Off the shelf.
It was absurd.
Wasn't even on display or anything.
This was the days when we'd get a delivery and Bobby and I would bring it to the belt, send it down, I'd run down and take it off. I mean,
check it in, send it down, then we'd work the register, then we'd pack it out, then we'd work the register some more. Then we'd sell some lottery tickets, scratch some off too.
Tons of lotto.
Do you remember we closed and play Lotto?
I think I blew half my
A lot of money.
Lotto.
A lot of money going.
Anyway, really good Merlot. I mean, this is obviously a very different wine library. This is more like me hanging out with my boys kind of show. You know, so for all you hardcore, like we want the details of the wines. This is me. You know, you may want to skip and watch some old episodes. I'm gonna kind of have some fun. Bobby almost ruined the show. To me, this is a very good Merlot. I'm happy with the way this came out. You know, $17 is pushing the price point of Merlot. There's a lot of Merlot out there, 15 and under. But I think this brings the guts. Napa Valley fruit. You know, I was gonna pay a little bit more for that. And of course, I did not want to create a wine that I would be embarrassed of for my best buddy. That'd be, you know, and of course you could tell, you know, Bobby's a much tougher character. That's why we gave him the real high-end Zinfandel. I didn't want to fool. But Brandon's Merlot was crap. He, you know, he's such a good guy. He'd be like, hey. All right, let's move on. Let's tell more fun stories. What else you got? Give them a story. I mean, a lot of these people like me. They watch the show quite a bit. What do you got for them?
What do I got?
Nothing too ridiculous. I just saw the way your face scared me there for a second.
Gary's a very competitive guy.
True.
You guys know.
Here we go.
So when we used to do baseball card shows, I would stay at his house, he would stay at my house, and I don't remember how old we were, but Gary would beat me virtually in most games that we played, whether it was Madden football or RBI baseball or whatever.
This is sophomore year. Just
so I beat him in a game of, was it Madden?
Yes.
I think I beat you in Madden. I beat him, which was unheard of, which was probably
Brennan still doesn't
one
like
of his
football.
only 2 losses. Anyway, it was really late, and I'm a guy who, even back then and even now, 11 o'clock, I'm out. So I played Gary, and I beat him, but I was really tired. And Gary demanded that we played another game. And I was just so tired. I didn't want to play, but he wouldn't let me sleep, so I said, fine. So we played, and he was winning instantly, like 21-0, 28-0. I was just letting him run the table. He wouldn't turn it off. He made us go the entire game. He beat me, I don't remember, it was like 7. I mean,
the best part was that Brandon started playing that play, like making bad plays, like on purpose, you know, like the way you do to, like, you want to nail your friend and like spoil it, like take the quarterback and run backwards. But I trumped it by acting like I was happy and was like, yes, that's what happened. You were scrambling and I tackled you for safety. So it was an interesting night.
It was a fun night, though.
All right, Warnke Cab 2004. Now this one I'm really excited about tasting because this one I sat on. They sent me a sample and I was like, I felt like it was a little awkward. So we sat on it. So it's an 04 Cab from Napa. Has a little bit more age than most of the cabs that are currently on the market, let's say. 17 bones, Cab, sniffy sniff time.
Why do I get the scent of... Actually, it smells like a burgundy to me.
Cedar.
Swear to God.
You get Pinot Noir-like flavors?
Yeah.
I smell cedar.
I actually get like, do you get peppermint though? Like spearminty peppermint? It's got like a zinginess.
No, I'm much older than you, so I don't get my nose is not.
You're not much older than me. You're only 8 years old.
Well, according to this, I'm in my 40s. I'm not in my 40s. I am
He's killing
40.
me with this.
I am 40 years old, not in my 40s. In your 40s, like when you're 44, 43, 45. I'm 40 years old.
What did
exactly.
it say? Bobby is now in his 40s. Well, Bobby, I
But
felt that.
you are in your 40s.
So this wine's gonna be around. So I'm like
Exactly.
in my 50s.
It needs to age on. All right, let's get focused on the cat. I love that Madden story.
Chris, don't laugh.
Tell me about when I saw Budweiser t-shirts.
At the Holiday Inn show?
Yes, that was a classic. Very interesting. I do get some of the earthiness that Bobby's talking about. I also get this interesting, like, peppermint, spearmint, minty, eucalyptus-y kind of thing. Like, there's a freshness on the nose that I like quite a bit. There's also a little black pepper on the back end and some bright blueberries. And who doesn't like blueberries directly in their nose?
nobody knows I'm a Shiraz fan.
I do.
I like cabs, but this is pretty
This
well
is the second
balanced.
time I've tasted it.
needs time.
It still tastes the same.
204 and it's
tight.
still big.
It's
know.
tight.
Yeah.
It's definitely still a
Well,
little
so
tight.
now you know why I waited. I mean, the
Yeah.
first time I had this, I was like, oh, Krizap. At least Brandon could serve it at like weddings and stuff and banquets. I mean, you were gonna have to buy 3 cases. I mean, it was really bad. But
But
it's
its
starting to
tannins
open
not
up.
very harsh.
But they're firm and tight.
They're big.
Yeah, it's not like bitter.
No.
But it's like it's tight. This is a very tight wine. I mean, this is for the person that really likes a Barolo, Brunello. Those really big, massive wines from Italy. I mean, this really shows the tannins. It doesn't have the quality of a $40, $50 Cabernet, but it has the backbone and structure of that type of wine. And that's probably what I'm most excited about with this wine. At the same token, at the price point, which is a drinkability price point, I'm a little worried that some people might pop and pour. I mean, this is something you really want to decant for 2-3 hours. This is steak wine. Brandon loves steak.
Absolutely.
Tell him, Brandon. That's all you would order. Even at like crappy places, remember?
I order a lot of steak.
Like we would go to like ghetto places and Brandon's like, give me the steak. I'm like, it's like a salad.
Gary and I used to go and get a lot of White Castles. Remember those days? And that
See,
hurt.
we never had
That
White
hurt.
Castle out there. Where did you get White Castle?
In
22.
Queens.
In Queens. In
Queens, Bob, not
in
22.
1986.
They know all about my favorite sliders. It's a pretty good cab.
1986.
I like the back end licorice. I'll tell you what, I actually like the Merlot better. How about you?
I
like the cab.
as well.
I,
like the cab.
But then
I do
again,
like
I'm
the
not
cab.
a huge,
I like them both,
I'm
but
not
I
huge
do like the
into
cab.
tannins.
Well, you can't really hate them, right? Imagine you were like,
True.
that'd be awesome if you were like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Listen, that's what happens. I mean, like, remember the Larkin? I'm still paying for that. Maybe Vaniac Snowman still wants to fight me at the flagpole. Anyway, gotta call it like you see it. Let's move on. B. Shifrin,
Yeah.
2005 Zin Howell Mountain.
Howell
One of the
Mountain,
real great places to make Zinfandel in the world. 27 U.S. bones. Let's give it a rinse.
This is the best wine.
Well, I know you're gonna look at the best. You're gonna be like, this is good. But you do like Bobby. Honestly, one of the reasons I did Zin is because you do like. That's why you like Syrah, the fruit and the spices. I think this is more your style.
well, Zin-
Brandon's a little more classic, like Bordeaux. You got to be like, he's like
Brown Zin is my favorite.
Brandon and I used to be part of. Oh, you love Brandon.
Brown Zin. Love it.
Brandon and I used to be part of this fantasy baseball league that was all old timers. We were like in our early 20s. They were all like 40 and 50.
was there for 1 year,
and
right?
Brandon loved this league. Because Brandon is an old soul. That's why you have to go with classic Bordeaux. Brandon used to I used to make fun of him and be like, you're going to bring your pipe?
Did I get thrown out of that league?
I don't think you were even in that league.
The
The
one year.
Larkin?
1 year.
No, that was a different league when you traded me.
Yeah.
When
Shut up.
I
Don't
traded
even say it.
when you
Don't
traded
even
me
say it.
Troy Glass. Was it Troy Glass? No.
No.
No,
it was
I
like-
traded you Victor Santos. Remember, he's the next Pedro.
No,
And Mike
no.
Perez.
No,
And that was
no.
to you. I killed
No,
you.
he traded me somebody who went on DL forever.
I don't remember.
That's yell forever.
Yeah,
That
what's
sounds
his
like
name?
this year. I killed some people with Burns and Chris Young. Anyway, Zin, 2005 Howell Mountain, B. Shifrin. That's how we roll. Bobby's wine. Let's give it a sniffy sniff.
Interesting.
While you guys yap and smell, I'm going to give some shout outs. Happy anniversary to Ginny and Andy Cross. Happy birthday, Achilles Georges, who's always emails me. He's a great guy. Condolences to Randy and her family of the passing of her grandma Sylvia, who was absolutely awesome. Somebody's calling. Maybe that. Oh, that was weird. You say something of the passing. That was like a sign. I like that stuff. That freaks me out. Anyway, Doug Chopper. Oh, right. Doug Cooper. Big shout out. He taped our episode in Cleveland. And I want to link him up, Mott. So Shoreline Video, please, Mott. Link it up. And big shout out to Luce's family in Virginia. Javier, Emma, Nicholas, and Bianca. Is that right?
You know what? I didn't tell my favorite story. It's not really a story.
Tell him.
Just something that you
They're
said.
liking it. This is totally...
It's something you said that made me really smile. You said that you thought I was the coolest guy ever. Years ago.
I've got a story. It's my story.
Years ago, he's
When
like,
I was really little,
Bobby, you're the coolest guy
we
ever.
went to... Bobby's 8 years older than me. Bobby
Yep.
is 8 years older than me. And our families are really close. We immigrated to America together.
Together.
My dad taught Bobby how to swim in Italy.
I'll swim, he did. And
Right?
actually, he named me.
Yeah,
Your
I mean,
dad
you know,
named me.
we're a small family. And so we're tight. We came to America together. You know, that's how you do things. Anyway, but when I went to Thanksgiving to Bobby's parents, Misha and Valia, in New York City, when I was really little, like 9 or 10, there's a couple stories, but I'll give you this one and I'll give you the other one. I went there, and we're sitting at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and Bobby is not even a part of it. He's not that old. You're like 16. I mean,
16.
right. So you
15,
should kind of be there,
15.
but he was cooler than that. He like comes in. He's like, "Yeah, Thanksgiving. I don't give a crap." And he's wearing a leather black jacket. And I'm like,
Bomber.
this guy. I mean, we didn't see each other that much. I was in New Jersey and you were in
Right.
New York, and you were a
Right.
teenager and never came out.
Right.
Bobby's parents are like my parents. They came out every weekend.
Every weekend.
Bobby's
Party
dad.
time in my
Bobby's
house
dad
every
watched
weekend.
way more baseball games of mine than my dad. Your
Oh,
dad
yeah, by
watched
far.
all of them. My dad watched none of them.
Correct.
I mean, like, so we're really, really close. But the other one I haven't brought up in a long time was when we moved to Dover from New York, and you came over, and we had
I don't remember that.
yeah, and you rode my bike, or you and then you had and we played Rubik's Cube. I just remember that too. So anyway, yes, let's sniffy sniff this. Bobby, how about the story when I decided to play my phone number? By the way, I have won the
yeah,
lotto
you-
twice
I
in
know,
my
you
life.
did.
The pick 3 and the pick 4,
Yeah.
and both of these guys were involved. The
That's
pick
right.
3, me and Bobby, I'm
Like
sleeping
5
over.
times you want
Well, do you remember what it was? I was going to your house to sleep over.
License plates.
No, I was going to your house to sleep over, and
Right.
we played everything. We were addicted. We're driving to Bobby's house, license plates, house numbers. We paid like $40-50, and then I get to the Krausers there, and I have like $10 left over. I'm like, wait a
Right.
minute, I didn't play my normal numbers, 376,
376.
which is the phone number of the store, 376-0005. I played it straight in box 10 times.
And it hit.
Here's what gets interesting: we go to his house and watch the lotto live. Who does that? Remember?
I don't even know what time it's on now.
It's 8 or whatever. I don't know. 7. I was like, yeah. 6. I'm like, Bobby, if this is a 3, 3, we go wild. No ships, like the ones that Shale is at Brandon's house in Clinton. Tell him the story. You weren't there actually.
I was
It was
on
me
my
and
way
Lancaster.
home. I was on my way
Me and
home.
Brandon's roommate, Mike Lancaster. The pick 4 lotto. I'm going to his house to hang out just randomly, and I'm driving, and I'm thinking about the lotto. I'm just thinking about like, oh no. I'm into playing lotto at this point because it's my senior year of high school, but I'm really thinking about my house in Edison, New Jersey. And so I play phone number 756-1407. I still remembered it like 10 years later. So I'm like, let me play that. So I get in, I play straight in box 10 times, 756, pick 3, and 1407. We're in Brandon and Mike Lancaster's house. 4. I'm like, yeah, right. 1. I'm like, Mike. 7. I'm like, I get out of the chair. I'm like, if this is a 0, pick 4 is a big number.
It is.
0. We lose our minds. These guys have nothing to eat. I knew I just won a crap load of money. I'm like, let's go to Krausers. So we drive, and Brandon's driving the other way, and it's a 15-mile-an-hour street. So we're going so slow that I like pop out, like yelling at Brandon, I'm like, I won the lotto! Brandon's like, so I bought them like with one of them. I mean, because they were like $1.80 each. So it was $1,800. It was nice.
Yeah.
Because there's only a box, yeah.
Nice.
So
And
anyway,
we had no food, and you filled our kitchen.
with Doritos.
No food.
All right,
Doritos and
let's give this
Coke.
a sniff. It's a wine show. 2005's in. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Good nose. A lot of fruit. Very intense fruit flavors. You like that, right?
It opened up.
Definitely gonna be spicy, peppery.
Totally. High levels of spice, pepper. There's a dark licorice component clearly coming through. I get a little bit of tar bubble and blackberries. Little mulberry action as well. I mean, this is really dark fruit. This is less cherries and strawberries and much more blueberries, blackberries, mulberries. Dark fruit coming through. Ooh. Racy.
Wow.
What do you think?
Talk about pepper, man.
This comes from
very
a
good.
very good
Spicy.
fruit source. You know, again, Brandon, easygoing, more like me. Bobby, if I didn't deliver, he gets rowdy.
Wow.
Good, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
And this is really good. I mean, this is a little high in alcohol for me, though. Just a hair. On the back end, I'm feeling a little bit too much alcohol. And I think that could calm down over time. 14.7, which is somewhat under control, because Zins have gotten to like 15.5 pretty quickly. Howe Mountain, if you're a fan of Howe Mountain fruit, you really got to, Cornerstone and Outpost. I mean, there's so many producers out there producing great Howe Mountain Zinfandel. If you're a fan of Zinfandel, this is clearly one of the places you want to look at. To me, this is a spectacular bottle of wine, definitely worth the 27 bones. I mean, I'm pretty happy. I mean, to me, the Cab pushes the price point. The Merlot, I'm really screaming about. Zin, this is a pricey wine, but I'm really happy
Yeah,
with
but
the
the
way it's
fruit
showing.
lasts for. It's lasting.
Again, this is just a lot of fun. SS Chris, I'm sorry, no scores. Just put like asterisks or something.
Jeez. You want to try?
Yeah, Mott,
No?
try this. Try
Please,
this.
come on.
Mott, get in here with the boys.
I have to call Chris, because he won't let me call him Mott.
I know, Mott gets crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's only you.
We're tight like that. What do you think of that?
He signs the page.
Not me.
He signs the paycheck.
All right, what else? What else? Question of the day. I asked, what are you drinking for Labor Day? I hope you enjoyed this show. I mean, anybody who's watching for the first time, this is not the norm, but this is more of a hangout session. Let's hang out a little more. What else you got? Say something.
I got a great story. This
Go
is
ahead.
the best one. He'll love this one. Gary and I were standing behind the register about 15 years ago.
Oh, God.
Right? And we were wrestling. I mean, I got Gary like this, and I'm wrestling. By accident, I turned too fast and hit his head on the table.
No, the corner.
The corner, right. I mean, it's like went bing. He goes, ow! His dad was standing down, further in the store. He turns around, he looks at us, and he goes, Gary, stop messing around. And he's like, no, stop messing around.
It was the worst.
I was like, yes. The guy was like, man. That's the best.
I thought you were
That's
gonna
the
tell. I
best.
thought you were gonna tell the story about the lottery ticket. Tell him that one.
Oh, come on, you don't want.
Yeah, I do.
You don't want me to say that.
I don't mind.
Gary's playing lottery scratch-off tickets, right? He's playing, nothing is going on. Then he takes a ticket, and the customer walks out. He's
And
like,
that's
I got it.
always good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he said, I gotta take care of the customer. He puts it back, takes care of the customer,
Mike,
and
you're
that
gonna love
same
this one.
customer goes, can I have that lottery ticket? He's like, okay. He gives her the lottery ticket.
This is a true story, by the way.
She scratches it off, and it's $200.
5.
Was it 5?
500.
It was $500.
I lose.
It's
my
okay.
mind.
It's great. She won. But he lost his mind.
was 16.
He jumped over the counter, started running around the store yelling, oh my God, I can't believe it, it's mine, blah, blah. The lady felt bad and she gave him $20. She's like, and that's it. That was the way you were running around the store, it was amazing. I was like, come on.
I was in shock.
He was.
I was like,
He gave
what
up,
are the
he gave up
odds?
$500. But he was back then, what were you, 17, 18?
16.
16?
Yeah.
16. $500 for a 16-year-old was a lot.
What else you got?
Especially he was getting
This is
paid.
story
He
time.
was getting paid $3.35 an hour, so everybody knows.
$2 under the table. That's an hour.
I didn't even know that.
And minimum wage was $5.05 at that point. Just so you know.
Sash.
Or I was selling baseball cards for a G a weekend.
That's right.
Give him some baseball
I guess
card
he
stories,
didn't
man. This is fun. I mean, by the way, if you don't want to hang out for stories, thank you so much. Have a great
Yeah.
weekend. Happy Labor Day. Right?
Yeah.
But let's
Have a
keep
great
doing
time.
storytelling. I'm liking this one. Mott's a little worried because
I'm
it's
in
going to take
North
a long time to
Carolina
download,
this weekend,
right?
so if anybody wants to email me,
Nice.
I'm in North Carolina.
There you go.
They can hang out.
A couple more
Lake
stories.
Norman.
Mott, how long are we in?
27.
Okay, we got 5 more minutes of stories. I mean, we gave Kramer 42 minutes. We can give these guys some time. What else do we have? What else is good?
We have so many baseball cards. Do we have any pictures?
Oh,
Any pictures
how
of
about
that?
us going to baseball games and betting whether somebody's going to hit something, and if they hit it, we leave? And it actually happened? We
would go to sporting events and not want to go. Because here was our thing. We would work together. We'd work so much. We never did anything.
Right.
This is about, I would say about 5, 7, 8 years ago, right? And we would, force ourselves, let's all go to the Yankee game. So we'd go. But the thing was, we were so tired. We all worked 60, 70 hours a week back then, maybe more. And we're just tired. A lot more physical labor back then, too, for us. And
It was
it
everything.
was just,
I mean,
anyway.
we were doing everything.
So we would go because we wanted to be friends and do stuff, right? But we'd get there, and sure enough, we'd be like, how tired am I?
We were exhausted.
We were just tired. And so, Brandon, me and you left a Major League Baseball playoff game.
A Yankee
Oakland,
round 1.
Oakland A's game, right?
Oakland, yeah, I think it was Oakland.
What happened?
We drove all the way in. I think there was a lot of traffic. We left early. Or maybe we were at a tasting
We left
that day.
we left
We might have been at a
at the
tasting.
national anthem, right?
Yes. We sat in our seats. Our seats were 8 rows or 9 rows off the field,
First
right past
base.
first base. I remember
Right, me too.
exactly. We sat down, they sang the national anthem, and then I think we looked at each other and we were like, we were exhausted.
Left.
And we left. That is...
Or remember, what was the
Ridiculous.
basketball game we went to when I was like, if he hits these 2 free throws, we leave? Remember that?
It was a net game.
A net game. We went to a net game. It was like,
That was the
first
first time it
quarter,
happened.
first guy who got fouled. I'm like, if this guy makes both free throws, we're out of here.
I remember.
We just got
He
him.
made
No
it.
talk.
No, but
remember?
no,
talk.
no. You got up, and I was like, "Are we really?" I remember thinking, "We really?" And you looked at me, and you goes, "We have to leave." And I was like, "Yes, we do." And we left.
We really did.
That was a lot of fun.
What
Baseball
else?
games were a lot of
I liked flea markets.
fun. Oh God,
remember how mad you
best
were.
one.
What?
You would get so mad, but you had to get
Gary
up super
Gary
early.
was like a 14, I think. like 13, 14, and we go to this flea market in Union.
Oh,
there used to be a
my
flea market
God.
in Union,
Wait
where
till
the
you hear
Home
this story.
Depot is right now. And I drive Gary there. He can drive, so I drive. And he's walking around. I know nothing about flea market. And I'm like, whatever. You know, I'm wearing my leather jacket. I'm ready to go party. And he's like, take me to the flea market. So he's walking around. He's looking at this Hulk Hogan
Erasers. In
erasers
package.
in package.
In
He's looking at
package.
this- oh my god! And it was only $3, right? So think about it. It's only $3. He's like, takes it. He goes to the guy. He goes, I'll give you 2. He's like, no.
1. I said
No, you said 1?
I said 1 because I figured then we'd settle on 2.
Right. He's like, no. He's like, come on, $1. Look at it. It's old, whatever. The guy is like, no. So Gary's persistent. He's got to win. He's like, $1. Come on. The guy looks at him. He goes, you stupid. Go back to where you came from. And he was Asian or something, right?
The guy was brutal.
He was brutal.
I was not. I did
Go
not.
back
I was
to where you
not
came from.
that persistent.
Yeah.
But he said, "You stupid."
Yeah,
I'll never
with an
get
accent.
shoot. Right, and we had accents too.
Go
But
back where you came from.
I was like,
You're like, okay.
"Do you remember how stunned I was?"
Yeah, you were.
But do you remember we bought something there?
We did? No.
Yes.
What did you buy?
You bought that Superman glass.
Yeah, but not from that guy.
No,
from
no,
the little
and that-
old
yeah,
woman.
yeah,
the
remember that?
Superman glass like worth $100 back then.
Then it was worth
20
like
years ago.
$5 on eBay.
Now,
remember?
now I think it's $2 or something like that, $2.50. I still have it.
How about
I
all
actually
the
have
How about
it.
all the Atari games I bought at the Thrift World right next to Yankee Stadium?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
Oh my god.
Carlo's fault.
I bought them all.
Oh my god.
Remember that?
And Nintendo.
Everything.
They had everything.
Every video game.
Yeah, he'd make us drive there.
Do you
Just
remember
so
when
we
you-
could buy
Remember
them
they
all.
had that
We
back-
have to drive there.
remember
so
they
we
had
could
that
buy
Remember
back
that
Bobby
roped
bought the
off area.
Barbies because he thought he was from
Oh,
68
God.
because they had the trademark
Barbies.
on the leg from. Bobby
Barbies.
rolls up
There's a lot
with
of
a
Barbies.
huge
Bag of-
bag.
a
He
bag
goes,
of
"You're
Barbies."
not gonna believe." I'm like, "What is going on?" He opens. I'm like, "Barbies?"
Yeah.
He's like, "They're from the 60s." I'm like, "They're not. That's a trademark year." Oh man, that was brutal.
I still don't know that. They're not from the 60s?
No.
Oh, I suck. Whatever.
That was fun though. That was
It
a
was
lot.
fun.
I mean,
It
you
was
got to
fun.
remember,
It was
we worked.
So you know,
6-day
so
work
everybody
weeks.
knows. I don't know if a lot of people know this. Well, people who don't hang out with you, they don't. He could talk you into doing anything. Anything. I swear to you, if you meet him ever and he wants you to do something, try to say no. Just try it. Please.
I'm not shaking
You will
his head.
not be able. Mom's going, yep, it's right. You will not be able to say no. That one thing I know about Gary. He will talk you into it, and it's not going to be like talk you into it. You won't even know that you're being talked into it. Mom's going, yeah. You will not have a clue. You're just
Hey,
like,
Mom,
okay,
let's
I'll
go to
do it, and then be
Virginia.
like, what happened?
What did I send you on the train last week?
I'm trying to. What did you say?
I said,
What is it?
Only for Gary Vaynerchuk when I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.
Do you remember when we drove almost to Delaware for
I
no
was
reason?
just gonna.
Oh
say
no, that was ridiculous.
We're playing
Let's
hide
go
and seek.
driving.
How far did
Let's
we?
go
We
driving.
went pretty far.
No, we
We
didn't.
flew, first of all, we
We
flew
did?
right through the ghetto.
That's awesome.
You guys were like, "What?" I'm like,
We
"Let's
got
get."
chased by some guy on a bicycle.
Yeah.
That's right. Some guy on a bicycle was chasing us. This guy's like, it's okay. We're like, all right, you better go quickly.
This is a classic episode of WineLibraryTV. I'm just gonna say right now. This is gonna be so fun to look back on.
Wait a minute. We wanted to break into Yankee Stadium.
Yes.
That's right. We were
Because
driving
go
to
into
break
Yankee-
into
Well, not
Yankee
break
Stadium.
in, but yes.
Not break in. Sneak
Okay.
in there. Whatever.
What else
We don't do illegal things.
Hold on, what else? We got good stuff. There's something else. I feel like there's one more story before we end this show.
Hide and go seek was the best. That was my favorite.
That was so funny. In
Yeah,
my
it was.
apartment,
Yeah,
and I hid in that
was it.
slot.
That was
Up
great.
in the
We used to play
freaking-
hide and go seek in my apartment, which was not that big,
But it was
but in
so
the pitch
black.
black. And you
Yeah.
had to tag your people. And like the guy who's
His
the
apartment
tagger-
was weird because there was absolutely no light going into that
It's
apartment. If you
so
turn off the
weird.
lights, there was
It's
no lights.
so dark
Like
that
outside,
day.
it was just black. So we played hide and go seek in the black, and you just gotta feel your way around and find the people.
Brandon, where's your yearbook? That's how we can bring up good stories. Brandon and I wrote in each other's senior yearbook, and we wrote epics, multiple page novels, and it was all random thoughts, like Kiki
And
Jones.
there were a lot of them.
Like, Brandon invested heavily in Kiki Jones the year I invested in Frank Thomas.
Where's Jeff DeRose? You gotta get Jeff DeRose to tell some stories.
The best thing about Jeff, who also works here in the order department, some of you might have dealt with him, and Brandon, was I sold both of them something within the first week of freshman year of high school. I sold Jeff Double Dragon for Nintendo, like the third day of school, and Brandon Dale Murphy rookie card.
And there was always something new. Because when I met him, it was literally the very beginning of my high school career, and he had done baseball card shows before.
I was huge in eighth
I
grade.
had never done any of them, and I don't know. It was something I would have never done without you. You know what I mean? I would have never actually taken that risk and it was
My favorite part was
everything.
I'm like, you do shows? You're like, yeah, I do shows.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'll never forget. I'm like, you were like, yeah, how much you pay for tables or something? Because you had no idea.
Somehow it came up.
I did
And then
get
you
it.
told me.
And you almost fainted.
I almost fainted. I'm
was
like,
$150
he said, yeah, I do shows. And I said, yeah, I do them too, all the time. And so there's a show coming up in a couple of weeks in
I got
Phillipsburg.
into baseball cards just because of him, and I used to buy them just to give it to him.
You got into sports because of me. You weren't that into sports.
No, I was not. My dad was huge into baseball,
huge,
yeah. But
You
I
weren't
was,
that huge.
I partied, man.
Yeah, no, you were cool.
Yeah, I was cool.
I was cool. Yeah, I
That's
was
cool.
cool.
I was. Keyword was.
All right.
Mott thinks I'm
Mott thinks it's time to wrap up because he's worried if this episode's going to get out. Have a phenomenal Labor Day. If you're ever at WineLib, ask for these guys. They're around. And
Peace.
say final thoughts to the Maniacs.
I just
Go
said
Cubs.
it. I just said it. Peace. Sorry, Yanks.
You, with a little bit of me, and my best friends in the world, we're changing the wine world, whether they like it or not.